morning, or depending when you're watching this, good afternoon, good evening, or good night. My name is Ross, and as always told out of Voice of Radio. So today we've got some news, some weird news, some fancy news, some good news. I don't really know. It's definitely news, though. And we need to start off with the biggest, bestest news of the week, or at least of the past couple of days, and that is that the lovely folks over at Total Cards have gone and revealed a new Pokémon set. Now, Total Cards have broken a bunch of stories for us before. We've talked about Total Cards before on this channel, and they've shared news with us, and Total Cards are good and reliable, and when they tell us that a new set has been revealed, a new set has been revealed. Total Cards are extremely reliable, also very good dudes, so we like Total Cards, consider us fans. And also, don't engage in the price scalping I've told some other stores off for, so you know, I'm not sponsored by them, but you should totally check them out. It seems like it is going to be an anniversary set. You see, the base set of the Pokemon trading card game was released in English in January 1999, which would make next year the 22nd anniversary. It's not exactly a big one, is it? But it was released in Japan on the 20th of October 1996. I got those dates from Bulbapedia, they're generally pretty reliable. Which means that it would be the 25th anniversary next year, and that, ladies and gentlemen, is very much a thing. 25th anniversary, yes. Absolutely yes. Because you know what? That is celebrated. That is absolutely celebrated. Now, if you remember the 20th anniversary, which was back in 2016, which was generally just the 20th Pokemon anniversary generally, that had a whole bunch of things that were done. But in terms of the trading card game, we had Generations. Now, to be fair, we also had Evolutions released, which was basically kind of a pseudo-remake of the base set, but that was a proper set that was released in the general release window schedule, etc. So we're not talking about Evolutions today, we're talking about Generations. And Generations was released in February 2016, and it was a special set, like Hidden Fates, like Champion's Path, a special set where you couldn't go and buy booster boxes, you had to go and buy individual products, and they had packs in, and you had all kinds of cool stuff going on with Generations. That seems to be what's happening here. You see, we don't have a lot of information. We really don't have a lot of information. The only products that have actually been announced so far are, well, they're binders. They're portfolios. Now, the images on screen are mocked up by the lovely folks at Total Cards. These are not official images, let's be super clear. But that's all we've got so far. But it is scheduled for release in February 2021. And it is going to be a mini set. Now, I know what some of you are thinking. Well, hang on a second, Wassy. February, we're supposed to get a real set in February. And I honestly don't know what's going on with this. Now, we know that our next set is Vivid Voltage. We know that that is our November set. We don't really know beyond that. What we do know is that Sword and Shield 5 is coming out in Japan. And Sword and Shield 5 is coming out in January. And we know that it is going to be based around Urshifu. That we do know. That's about all we know for the minute, unfortunately. But we do know that there is going to be a Sword and Shield 5, and we do know that it is going to be based around Urshifu. And that's a proper set. This doesn't sound like a proper set. This sounds like an extra special set. Now, if the timing here does seem kind of confusing, on the one hand, yes, it is weird to launch a kind of a mini set, an extra set, in the same month as a real set. But having said that, Breakpoint came out on February the 3rd, 2016, and Generations came out February the 22nd, and we know that these special sets, there isn't I mean, there is a release day in that there are a bunch of products with different release dates, and the first one of those will be the release date. But let's just say it happened in 2016. It could definitely happen here. No, this is not the main set. If it was the main set, the Dudes at Total Cards would have told us it's a main set. We don't have a name. We don't have any information. We don't have any cards. We don't know what it is. Maybe it's going to replace the Sword and Shield 5 set in February. By replace, I mean they'll just shift it back a little bit. Maybe it won't. The thing we do need to remember, and I'm afraid it's kind of a little bit depressing, but we do need to mention it, the whole coronavirus thing, which has been kind of wrecking everything lately, that has been making things awkward in terms of production. So it may well be that Pokemon need a break. That they need essentially a month or two to get back to a release every 3 months. So this would be a great excuse to essentially go, hey, we've got this mini set coming in February, and then we have a set in April, and then we have a set in July, and then we have a set in October, and actually we end up with a shunted release schedule, and we still have them every 3 months, but which 3 months are essentially started to be mucked around a little bit. It's pushed back. I don't know, this is all pure speculation on my part. Now, there is an image of a Chimchar card which came out a while ago. I'm not going to show the image of that card because it's not supposed to be out there. I don't know that it's real. And even if it is real, showing images of cards which are clearly leaked months ahead and have almost certainly been stolen is a really good way to not make friends, shall we say. But there was a Chimchar card doing the rounds a little while ago, which had a logo very much like the one Total Cards have mocked up, which in and of itself is very close to the 20th anniversary logo we saw before. And that Chimchar card did suggest that we would be having essentially a series of promo cards featuring each of the first partner Pokemon from each of the games. Which sounds about right and sounds kind of cool. Of course, it is worth bearing in mind that a little while ago I started telling you about the fact that we were getting the Baby Trio, the alternate art version of that card, and that actually there are a bunch of cards that we're still missing, like the Gold Pikachu and Zekrom, for instance, like the Full Art Green's Exploration, like the Full Art Welder. All of these cards, and there are a bunch, the Rainbow Rare Wishy Washy. All of these cards are currently missing. They were in what ended up being Cosmic Eclipse over here in Japan, but we never got all of the fancy alternate artworks. Maybe at some point in the future we will get them. Would be kind of cool. And this would be the set to do them. Now, it would be weird putting them in the sets, because obviously, you know, this would be a February set, and we are expecting the Sun and Moon era card to be rotating in September 2021. So we would essentially be getting 7 months to actually use them, maybe even less, if they didn't become legal until March. So there's an awful lot we don't know here. Now, there's a bunch we do know, but there's an awful lot we don't. But in terms of mini-sets releasing in February, it's not without precedence. Yes, I know we have these extra things like Hidden Fates and Champion's Path that tend to come around towards the tail end of the year, as happened last year with Hidden Fates and this year with Champion's Path. But let's not forget that back in 2019, we did get Detective Pikachu, which was kind of an extra set, so to speak. And that one ended up launching on the 29th of March 2019. A few years before that, we had Double Crisis, the Aqua and Magma Focus set, which released on the 30th of January. And then a few years before that, in 2012, Dragon Volt launched on January the 27th, 2012. And then, of course, we've got Generations as well, which I've already mentioned. So my point here is that having this extra mini set releasing in February would make an awful lot of sense. Having a special set in February of the 25th anniversary, just like we got Generations in February of the 20th anniversary, makes an awful lot of sense and certainly seems in keeping with the kind of thing that Pokemon would actually do. One thing that I would absolutely love, and we are going into full bore speculation here, but given that we had evolutions in that year, in 2016, which was kind of like a pseudo reprint of the base set, maybe we get a pseudo reprint of Neo Genesis towards the end of next year? Reusing some of those cards and reusing the artwork and all of that? Tell me that wouldn't be awesome! It's not the first time I've had this idea. I've been thinking this for a while, but oh my goodness, it would be cool. So as it stands at the moment, we have a vague release month and we know we're getting some portfolios. But I think it is an awful lot more exciting than that, ladies and gentlemen. Things are starting to look fun. And as always, you know at this stage that the second I know anything more about this, I will of course be coming to tell you every single little thing you need to know, because that's kind of what I do, ladies and gentlemen. That's kind of what I do. But for now, I want your predictions. I want to hear rumours. I want to hear whatever you want to tell me, quite frankly. So go nuts in the comment section, but be nice. And then make sure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, follow me on Twitter at TheWasi, and Twitch for some live action at twitch.tv/PTCGRadio. If you want to support the channel, get some bonus podcasts and all that good stuff, head on over to patreon.com/PTCGRadio, where you can do exactly that. But by far the most important thing, as always, look after yourselves till next time, would ya? Thank you very much for watching. My name's Ross, and you've been watching PTCG Radio.